The stunning Spa-Francorchamps in the Belgian Ardennes, a perennial favourite with teams and drivers and with spectators as well. Nearly 100,000 fans packing the sun-soaked Belgian track, ready for round 3 of the FIA World Endurance Championship. The air crackling with excitement as the cars come to the grid. Everybody looking to see who will triumph in this final warm-up for the 24 Hours of Le Mans in a little over a month's time. New faces join familiar friends on the grid, relaxed but tense before the 6 hours gets underway. And almost uniquely, in 14 appearances here, there is no threat of rain. In LMGT3, Lexus secured pole position for the very first time in their world endurance history, thanks to great efforts from Arnaud Robin and Finn Gersitz. No dramas with track limits this time for Antonio Fuoco. His laps counted, and the number 50 Ferrari starts at the front of the field, leading a 1-2-3 for the prancing horse.
Le roi, la loi, la liberté, aura pour devise immortelle. Elle est le roi, la loi, la liberté. Le roi, la loi, la liberté. Le roi, la loi, la liberté.
Applaudissements pour le monde avec également au-dessus du circuit de Spa-Francorchamps le passage des avions qui peuvent saison.
Niklas Nielsen in the red Ferrari leads them to the line. Outside him, Phil Hansen in the yellow car. The lights are out. We are racing in Spa-Francorchamps. Ferrari 1, 2, 3. Peugeot, Alpine and BMW fanning out behind. Through the hairpin, the last source. Is there contact? 20 BMW dropped a couple of wheels into the dirt, and now it's in a box of 4 cars with a pair of Porsches and a Caddy. Oh, racing down into Eau Rouge for the very first time. One of the caddies cutting the corner, but it is Ferrari 1, 2, 3. Lots of jockeying for position behind. And look at that, James Calado in the second of the red cars around the outside of the yellow Ferrari. Takes second place from Phil Hansen in the very first braking zone at the top of the hill at Les Combes. Great move from our championship leaders to go up to second place. Trouble, that's Julian Andlauer in the number 5 Penske Motorsport Porsche. Replay of the first corner, La Source is always a bottleneck. Just see the number 20 BMW kicking up the dust. On board with the 51 Ferrari. James Calado tucking in behind, and up at the top of the hill. Oh, there was contact between the Cadillac and the Porsche. Looks like that might have been Sebastian Bourdais turning the Porsche around. Red car of Arnaud Robin leading in LMGT3 from the 2 Mustangs, but further back right there, yellow and green. There's the number 10 Aston Martin of Derek de Boer, who started second on the grid and is now down to 6th. So was there trouble at the start in LMGT3? We haven't lost anybody. Looks as though they all made it through, maybe just De Boer making a cautious getaway. Here's how they race down to the first corner, and Derek De Boer on the outside, already losing places. There's the Aston, and this is a view back from Robin. Look at the two Mustangs, the white nose and the blue nose cars. A little further back with Francois Heriot, Derek De Boer in front of us, and Heriot is going to follow the Mustangs past that Aston Martin. Battle for 13th place, the Proton competition Porsche, the white car. Under pressure, Nico Pino as Mike Conway goes by in the number 7 Toyota. He qualified 16th. Brendan Hartley in the number 8 car that started 15th on the grid. Toyota didn't have pace in qualifying, but they always race this car hard. It's one of the most efficient in the business. Ferrari 1-2, very early days here, just 10 minutes into this 6-hour race. Niklas Nielsen leading in the number 50 car that won in Qatar. Behind him is James Collado in the number 51 that won last time out. Number 8 already ahead of the 99 Porsche. So Brendan Hartley has moved up the order as well. Nico Pino struggling in the Proton competition machine. Leaders in traffic. The 3 Ferraris making it through, and behind the yellow Ferrari, look at that, the blue Alpine alongside the white Peugeot. Fred Makovici in the 36 Alpine going by Loic Duval's Peugeot at the bus stop. Great opportunistic move as they hit traffic. And the Alpine now trying to home in on that bright yellow Ferrari of Phil Hansen. Oh, Makovici on the inside of the Ferrari, down at the bottom end of the circuit. Hansen with the inside line, but Mako very aggressive on board with the Frenchman. They're still in LMGT3 traffic, and Makovici super aggressive. At the hairpin at La Source, the red Ferrari, James Collado, the yellow car, Phil Hansen and Fred Makovici's blue Alpine on the inside. Nudges Hansen off into the dirt, and the Alpine is up to 3rd. Cheers from the huge crowd here. And that is James Collado in 2nd place. Niklas Nielsen nearly 5 seconds ahead up the road, really got the brakes in traffic. Collado now having to deal with the aggressive Makovici in that Alpine. Look behind up the hill, the first car in that bunch is Kevin Magnussen's 15 BMW. No fewer than 6 hypercars trying to come around him for 5th place. Unbelievable scenes. This is Will Stevens in the number 12 Cadillac, looking back from Magnussen. Both Peugeots are there. Loic Duval and Paul Di Resta, and it looks like Di Resta has gone ahead of Duval in the 93 car. So here's the first of those white Peugeots. Will Stevens coming alongside the number 6 Porsche as we ride at the tail of this field with René Rast, the number 6 car, and the Cadillac in the dirt in the Jack Hicks curve. And that means the second of the blue Alpines, Ferdy Habsburg, moves up. Look at that, Will Stevens just getting away in the gravel, eased off by Lawrence Vantor there in the number 6 Porsche. Unscheduled pit stop for Toyota number 7, Mike Conway had a right front puncture. Thomas Floor in the silver Ferrari, alongside, down the inside comes Celia Martin in the Iron Dames Porsche, and Tom Van Rompuy's yellow Corvette just squeezing by Ian James's Aston Martin. A change there for 8th and for 10th right behind. On board with Ryan Hardwick in the first form Porsche. Hardwick here on the outside at La Source, turned around by Thomas Floor. Got away without spinning him out. Listen. James Collado in the 51 Ferrari, right behind, right alongside, coming down to Roos on the outside for Makovici. The crowd cheering that move over the sound of the engines. Look at this. This is committed from both drivers. Still the battle for 5th position. Kevin Magnussen started on the soft tyre, but pulling up alongside. Here comes the better of the Peugeots, Paul di Resta. He had a great run through Eau Rouge, and right behind, the second white Peugeot of Loic Duval under pressure from the blue 35 Alpine of Ferdy Habsburg. Alpine and Peugeot looking as competitive here as they have all season. Look at this run from the Peugeot. So much speed coming up the straight. Magnussen had no answer to it. Replay here on board with Kevin Magnussen. Out of Eau Rouge, up the Kemmel Straight. 2 LMGT3 cars in front. One pulls out to go by. Magnussen on the grass at about 150 miles an hour. Look at the BMW. That could have been an airplane crash. And look at the Peugeot behind as well.
How is the tyre situation?
Yeah, good. I need to be faster. You went and manage it so much.
Okay, so let's push more. 5, 6, 7, 18, 19, turn 1.
The team giving Collado places where he can try and attack without overheating the tyres. Phil Hansen flashing the headlights right behind him. The aggressively driven 93 Peugeot of Paul di Resta. They're having a great race.
It's incredible that we haven't seen any worse accidents yet. So yeah, we are very pleased. We're getting up to 5th, so everything is going according to the plan, and just hopefully we can stay out of trouble.
Well, here's the other Peugeot, Loic Duval in the 94 car. This is the replay of an attack on Phil Hansen's yellow Ferrari for 7th place. Got by. Oh, there's the shadow of the Goodyear blimp, but underneath it, the 99 Proton Porsche of Nico Pino. What happened here? Up to Les Combes, maximum speed. Down through the gears and suddenly into neutral. Full course yellow, everybody now on a speed limit at 80 kilometers an hour. And it looks as though the Porsche has got started. Not sure how many gears he's got. Phil Hansen in the 83 Ferrari. Loic Duval goes by. He made that pass earlier, but ran out wide and had to give the place back. But Phil Hansen in the 83 car now under attack from Lawrence Vanthoor. That car started second on the grid, and it is clearly not performing well. Everybody is just driving by the yellow 83 Ferrari, and that's not down to Phil Hansen. First round of LMGT3 pit stops, the leaders are in. This is Arnaud Robin in the Lexus that started from pole position, and all his rivals are swarming into the pit lane as well. The bronze drivers started the race in all these cars. They need to do an hour and 45 minutes minimum, so they will stay in. They will have tyres and fuel and go again for their second stint. Phil Hansen under pressure again in the yellow Ferrari, this time from René Rast, who goes by him for 8th place. The number 20 car that was in the gravel on turn 1 now back to where it started, and right behind is the Cadillac of Will Stevens, who's also been pushed off into the gravel, and he is coming from 10th up to 9th place. Hansen tries to defend on the brakes. It looks like the car is just not quick in a straight line. Regular pit stops now for our hypercar field. Leader is in, so is the second place 36 Alpine, and from 3rd place as they cycle through the 20 BMW. Out goes the Alpine, the 50 car right in front. That's a tiny margin. Great pit work from the Alpine crew, putting their man out right behind the Ferrari. This is such a good showing from the French marque. Alpine really in the mix here.
It's a tough race. The start was crazy. We avoid all the mistakes and all the incident on the track. But now, as you know, the race will be long. It's only 1 hour, so still 5. So it will be so stressful for everybody.
83 Ferrari in the garage. They suspect a problem with the turbocharger on the left-hand bank of cylinders. This is really bad news for the yellow Ferrari crew. They were losing ground. They had to do something about it. Battle for second in LMGT3. The turquoise Porsche, last time's winner, in second place. Ryan Hardwick there, behind him Stefano Gattuso. And this is how second place changed. deep dive down into the final corner, the bus stop. Well judged. Absolutely nailed that to perfection. Replay here at the bus stop. Thomas Floor in the Ferrari on the inside, Yasser Shaheen on the outside in the BMW. That battle for 16th interrupted by the Peugeot coming up the inside. And Thomas Floor had nowhere to go, clattered into the BMW. Oh, and he nearly hit the Porsche there as well. Shaheen only making it as far as the gravel trap at La Source, broken steering on the BMW. And it has come to a shuddering halt, and that is surely going to mean a safety car to rescue it.
Virtual safety car deployed. VSC, VSC.
Trouble for the 87 Lexus. It is stopped on the Kemmel Straight. No accident damage. That is a mechanical retirement. We are under virtual safety car at Spa. Nearly 99,000 fans packing Spa-Francorchamps. We are under safety car, Ferraris first and third, with the Alpine between them and the number 15 BMW battling with the 93 Peugeot. Lots of racing still to go, 4.5 hours. Nothing is yet decided.
It was difficult to manage because we missed a lot of track time in practice. We never did any proper race runs, and I didn't know the reference. So I was managing too much, I think, a little bit at the beginning. But then obviously it paid off. But unfortunately for me, I couldn't extract the full stint. And actually, I was catching quite quickly and had a nice battle with the Alpines. So, I mean, we've got to take it easy, score points. And it was an enjoyable race so far.
The whole field is back to green, jammed up together, everybody full of fuel, some with fresh tyres. It is Miguel Molina that leads them across the line. The Alpine of Fred Makovici in second, Antonio Giovinazzi now in the 51 Ferrari. And everybody jammed together in Hypercar and in LMGT3. François Heriot, silver Ferrari leads in GT3, side by side for second. Amadou Harty in the yellow nose 46 BMW down the inside of Stefano Gattuso's Mustang for second, with the Lexus and the Porsche right behind.
Stay calm, don't fight with them, don't fight with them.
Well, Stefano Gattuso fall back, but the reason not to fight with the 46 BMW is they have a drive-through penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Amadou Harty looking to take back that second spot nevertheless. A whole Hypercar field steaming up the hill into Les Combes, hard braking here. There's the Aston Martin Valkyries looking closer to the front running pace. They've been helped by the safety car. Battle for 8th place in LMGT3, the yellow Corvette Ben Keating. Past him goes the first of the McLarens of Darren Leung and James Coscombe trying to go around the outside. Look at the second yellow Corvette though. Tom Van Rompuy with the black roof sweeps round Keating. Following him is the Aston Martin, the yellow and green car. That is Derek de Boer who started second. And look at the way Tom Van Rompuy, the left of your picture now, moves inside James Coscombe. He's gone from 11th to 8th. And the other yellow Corvette, Ben Keating, has gone from 8th to 13th place. Over Redior, there's Loic Duval's white Peugeot challenging Norman Nato now in the gold-nosed Cadillac. Look at top of the shot, headlights flashing on the Peugeot. Duval up the inside of Nato, moves through, 9th spot. Just ahead of him, the number 7 Toyota. Drive-through penalty for the number 15 BMW. That's not going to help their cause. Leaders at Les Combes, headlights flashing for Miguel Molina. Look at the Alpine on the inside, under pressure from Antonio Giovinazzi. He didn't get through there. Oh, and look at the Peugeot! And that is Paul Di Resta snatching third place. Great move. The 51 Ferrari held up momentarily by that McLaren in traffic, and Di Resta was straight through. Brilliant stuff. Third place battle now in LMGT3. Arnaud Robin, who started on pole in the big red and white Lexus, and right behind him, James Cottingham in the McLaren, coming from 16th on the grid. This is a great drive by Cottingham, straight through into the top 3.
Very, very good job to James. I'm very happy. So the race now is long. We are 4 hours, and it's very important to stay focused during all the race. And yeah, James, we put very, very good job. Now we are P3. So yeah, I'm very happy.
6th place battle, Mike Conway in the number 7 Toyota, Loic Duval going the long way round the outside of La Source in the white Peugeot. Is that going to work for him? It looks like it might, you know. And Conway loses the spot before they get to Eau Rouge. That's a really good sign of how well the Peugeot is being run here at Spa. Here's the battle for 4th place, 51 Ferrari, Antonio Giovinazzi, and alongside him, Robin Frijns in the number 20 BMW, picks him off. Right in front, Paul de Resta's 3rd place Peugeot, and Frijns denying Giovinazzi a chance to come back at him on the exit of Les Combes. Down into Rivage, Frijns hugs the inside line. Giovinazzi will have to go the long way round, and that's not going to work for him. Here's the battle for the lead in LMGT3. Ian James in the blue Heart of Racing Aston Martin. Celia Martin for the Iron Dames. Equal tyres. And this is despite a 5-second pit stop penalty that the Iron Dames picked up very early from a start infringement. Celia Martin through to the lead. Really encouraging stuff from the French driver. She had a bit of a disaster in Imola, but is absolutely transformed here in Spa. 4th place battle in LMGT3. Darren Leung in the orange McLaren. Ryan Hardwick pulls out from behind him. Got a great run into La Source. They're side-by-siders. Through comes Paul de Resta, 3rd in Hypercar. Remy Rast on the grass in 4th place. Wow. So much pressure on the Hypercar drivers and on their LMGT3 counterparts to make the passes. Unbelievable. Look at this. Probably only doing 150, 2 wheels on the grass. Fourth place battle in Hypercar, 20. That is Robin Frijns in the BMW. Antonio Giovinazzi coming up, and look at the white Peugeot of Loic Duval. He's not going between them. He is going between them. Duval picks off both of them. Giovinazzi also going by Robin Frijns. Duval up 2, Frijns down 2. Opportunity for Antonio Giovinazzi in traffic to go around the outside of Loic Duval. He's up to 4th place. Ferrari scrabbling though to stay ahead of the Peugeot and the BMW. This is not the domination by the red cars that many predicted. Paul de Resta in traffic in the white Peugeot, and Antonio Giovinazzi right behind him as they exit Piff Paff. The Peugeot on the gravel, and this is a chance for the Ferrari driver. Goes around the outside. And just on the gravel as well, but survives at the front of that little queue. Giovinazzi up to 3rd in the 51 car. Heart in the mouth stuff for both drivers.
Alpine is behind, eh?
Don't worry about the Alpine, don't worry. You keep them behind, that's fine. You stay out, big fuel saving, and you stay.
3.5 hours remaining. The next round of pit stops, 36 Alpine, driver change. Superb start to the race from Fred Macavicki. Jules Gounon will be just as combative. Antonio Giovinazzi hits his marks, no driver change here. It will be fuel, and they will probably give him 2 fresh tyres. Away goes the Alpine. A cloud of tyre smoke. And are they going to stay in front of the 51 Ferrari? Yes, they do. At this stage, number 7 Toyota going longer on fuel. And with that offset because of the early puncture, up to 2nd place. Is Toyota going to finish? Jules Gounon out on colder tyres. He will have to get back up to speed. Race leader is in. Quick stop for Miguel Molina. And he's under pressure. Molina, where is the Alpine? Molina comes out in front. There's Gounon on a lap hot tyres. And this is a great opportunity for the Alpine to make the pass. He goes around the outside into Eau Rouge. Alpine leads.
It was a tough beginning of the race. We knew we were strong in a race pace because we made a good free practice and work on that. It's always challenging because you have a plan, but sometimes the circumstances change a bit. But definitely we were where we wanted. FIA are really strong too, but we are capable in, I would say, in a drop from the tire to challenge them. Let's see what we can give it to until the end.
Position change between the two Peugeots. Malte Jakobsen being waved in front of Paul de Resta. He's got fresher rubber. The tyre looks quicker. But look at the top speed of de Resta. The Peugeot is the fastest car in Hypercar. Jakobsen safely completes the move. Now he will lead de Resta through traffic. New into the car, the young Dane. First full season as a factory driver, and already earning his spurs.
Copy, Camo, yes, overtake him. And override is available.
From 17th on the grids, this is the battle for 7th place now for Toyota's Kamui Kobayashi, using the override to stop fuel saving. Nico Müller in his sights, and Kobayashi has to go the long way round the outside, ran out wide completing the pass. He's probably going to have to give that back and try again. Battle for second in LMGT3, the replay here at the top of the hill. Simon Mann on the outside, sweeping around the Mustang of Gianmarco Leverato to take the spot. And it's all down to a better run through Eau Rouge. A kilometre later, that pays off in the braking zone. The second of the gold Cadillacs, Earl Bamber, around the outside of Ryo Hirakawa in the number 8 Toyota. The black car now out of the points. He drops from 10th to 11th spot. The Cadillacs had expected to have good race pace here, but nearly halfway through the race, they're just in the bottom of the top 10. Battle for third place in LMGT3, that is Rui Andrade in the 81 Corvette, Rahal Fry chasing in the Iron Dames Porsche. And that is the car that came in from the lead in LMGT3 in the hands of Celia Martin in what has been a topsy-turvy race so far.
It was a shame with the penalty, but yeah, I didn't pay attention to this, so really it's on me. But the rest of the stint, yes, I had a lot of fun. I've learned from Imola, you know, a bit more patience and count on the advantage of the Porsche, which is the tire degradation. So yeah, I was trying to be more patient and also take advantage of the traffic with the hypercar. So I had a lot of fun. It was, I hope, nice fights with the other guys. So fair, and this is cool. This is nice.
Earl Bamber in the number 38 Cadillac, attacking the Porsche of Nico Müller. Müller, a Porsche Formula E driver, returning to World Endurance, where he previously raced for Peugeot. I wonder if he wishes he was in a Peugeot now, because they seem to be having a better time of it than the Porsches. Nevertheless, holding off Bamber, but he has to succumb as the Cadillac goes through at La Source. Oh, trouble for McLaren, that's Sean Gelael. And he is heavily into the barriers, instant safety car. Second year in a row for Gelael, a big crash at Spa, and it's contact with the number 60 Mercedes. Oh, there was nowhere to go there. Battling up at the top of the hill at Les Combes, the Mercedes on his left, then comes back and contact hard into the barriers. Safety car and emergency fuel for both of our AMG Mercedes at the Iron Lynx team. Sean Gelael out of the car, that's good news. He was involved in a massive crash last year with Earl Bamber in the Cadillac. 3 hours in, 3 to go. Alpine lead from Ferrari and BMW. Peugeot in the mix as well. In LMGT3, currently it's the 27 Aston Martin at the head of the field, but it could frankly be anybody that wins either category right now. This second safety car should compress the fields in both classes once again.
So far we've been very lucky with the first virtual safety car that brought us back in the game. We had a right front puncture and if we had to box early, and yeah, somehow we managed to undercut a lot of cars then. I think everyone is about to box now. What we currently see is pretty much the true picture, but yeah, it looks very, very tight and competitive out there.
On the right-hand side, Jean-Eric Vergne in the Peugeot did not come into the pit lane. Everybody else has. The Alpine, the Ferraris. What's going on? The 50 Ferrari slowing right down. Has he got a problem? 51 going past. Look here, this is what happens. The 20 BMW trying to follow. But 50 pulls back in. They're trying to organise the cars to go into the pit box the right way. Toyota doing the same. 7 comes in ahead of 8. Stops in the wrong box. That's the box for car 8. The lollipop man stopped him in the wrong place. Back to green flag racing. Jean-Eric Vergne leading the field, but completely offset. He's only got 30% of usable energy left. Everybody else full of fuel and on fresh rubber, because behind the safety car you can warm the tyres up. There's the battle for 5th place. Look at the Ferrari. That's Antonio Fuoco. 2 wheels on the grass as he comes around the outside. And the number 20 BMW of René Rast makes the pass stick. So he is up to 5th. In front of him, the 51 Ferrari is in 4th. Battle for 3rd place. There's the Toyota Kamui Kobayashi, and around the outside, Alessandro Pierguidi. Brave stuff at maximum speed. Runs out very wide. 50 Ferrari of Antonio Fuoco is right there as well. Big lock-up from Kobayashi. Gives the places away. He'll drop back in the back of that little group. The Peugeot just having its nose cut off. Malte Jakobsen now right behind the Toyota.
Okay, so now we focus on the front tire saving. Target will be with car 50 to catch the Alpine in front of us.
Look at the back of the shot, Malte Jakobsen in the white Peugeot. He got rudely chopped at the chicane by Kamui Kobayashi. Goes by him for 7th place though. The Toyota started the previous lap in 3rd, now down to 8th. And this is where it all started. Alessandro Pierguidi going wide on the outside. Kobayashi locking up and losing 3 places. And now he's down to 7th. Battle for 2nd place in LMGT3. Simon Mann, silver and red Ferrari. Gianmarco Lavorato in the Corvette goes outside, inside, cuts underneath him on the exit de la Source. And the thundering Ford V8 horsepower brings him through into 2nd place as they head down into Eau Rouge. Corvettes are now 1st and 2nd here at Spa. Will Ferrari add to their 10 GT victories at this track? Anything still possible? There's the Porsche team that won last time out in Imola. Their car in 5th place. Riccardo Pera holding off Valentino Rossi in the 46 BMW. That car was on the podium in Imola in 2nd place. Race leader in the pits in the insets, that's Jean-Eric Vergne in the Peugeot. They split the strategy between the 2 cars on the last safety car. So Malte Jakobsen now moves up to 5th in the 94 car. Green flag pit stop for Jean-Eric Vergne in 93. No doubting the pace of the Peugeots here. The Cadillacs, oh, trouble! This is Sebastian Boe in the barriers down at Campus. Now that looks like contact. It's the number 10 Aston Martin alongside him. Eduardo Barrichello, the 2 coming together, and Boe in the barriers. Well, that might bring out a safety car. Virtual safety car, so everybody slows down to 80 kilometers an hour, but the pits are open, and that allows the entire field pretty much to have a pit stop. And that is disaster for Jean-Eric Vergne's Peugeot. He had only just stopped a couple of laps ago under green flag, and their strategy has disappeared. Here is the remaining McLaren. Not the weekend they were hoping for. Trouble in the pit lane. And that is Barrichello getting stuck. The remaining Lexus having to squeeze by. Oh my goodness, that was close to contact. 36 Alpine in the pits. Mick Schumacher rushes round to take over from Jules Gounon. And in comes Antonio Fuoco. Race on pit road. 2 tyres only for the Ferrari. And they are going to beat the Alpine out of the pit lane. That's a really good turnaround from the Ferrari crew. They didn't change drivers. 51 Ferrari is leader. 50 Ferrari in second place now. Back to green once more here in Spa, inside the final 2 hours of this dramatic race. Ferrari 1-2, Alpine third, Toyota fourth, and then the Peugeot Malte Jakobsen in fifth place ahead of the number 20 BMW of Robin Freins. Malte Jakobsen under pressure, Freins around the outside, there's contact, Freins goes wide, the Peugeot in trouble, something's broken, left rear suspension, Jakobsen right away from the restart, under pressure at Les Combes from Robin Freins, and a broken left rear suspension. Freins on the outside, Jakobsen over the curbs, and you can see the wheels broken there, so the Peugeot must have got spat sideways into the BMW, and that is a disaster. Change of the lead, number 50, Antonio Fuoco going ahead of Alessandro Pierguidi in the 51 Ferrari. There is a threat potentially of a penalty for the number 50 car for slowing down in the pit lane. So have they been given free rein to race away? Valentino Rossi with Alessio Rivera in the Ferrari around the outside. Alessio Rivera, platinum driver, the highest graded license you can get. Valentino Rossi still a silver graded driver on four wheels. Rivera takes advantage there, moves up to fourth place.
Seems that he's with new tires.
Yeah, copy. I will not fight too much with him.
Dennis Olsen, our race leader in LMGT3 in the blue and white Mustang, but with fresher tyres in the 54 Ferrari is Davide Rigon, hanging on around the outside, and he's got the grip to stay there on the inside, takes the lead in LMGT3. Fifth place battle, we ride on board with Nick de Vries. Now with Alex Lynn giving chase in the Cadillac up to the bus stop, a long run up the hill, and Lynn going around the outside. Can he keep it on the track? He does. Nick de Vries just hangs on ahead of the first of the two caddies. Up at Les Combes, meanwhile, Alessandro Pierguidi and Mick Schumacher. Schumacher lunging by. Pierguidi hanging on to second. On board again with Mick Schumacher, right in front, Alessandro Pierguidi's Ferrari, Schumacher on the inside, this time he goes through. And look right behind, coming steaming up behind them is Robin Freins in the 20 BMW, four wheels on the dirt almost, he barges his way through as they pass the GT3 Aston Martin. Look at this. Was there ever room? I'm sure the Ferrari had no idea he was there.
Okay, we keep cool. 16 laps to go. 16 laps to go. We change the all four tire after these 16 laps. 16 laps and we change all four tire.
All right, they are starting to plan for the end of the race here. Here comes Alessandro Pierguidi trying to go around Robin Freins and Mick Schumacher. Does he get both of them? That's brilliant stuff. And here comes Freins. He goes by Schumacher as well. Schumacher from second down to fourth in the bus stop. And Pierguidi picking up 2 places. Freins still there. Schumacher very miffed. He's back in the mix. The blue Alpine right in there, but it is still the Ferrari in second. Freins looking to the outside to Eau Rouge. Squeeze between the Ferrari and the pit wall. He squeezes back. He's through. Pierguidi runs out very wide. He's going to have to give that place back. There was no question about that. Held on to the spot by going outside track limits. Look at this from on board. Brilliant stuff from Pierguidi in the bus stop. Desperate defence, and Freins comes through as well. Back to our LMGT3 battle for fourth place. Ricardo Perez Porsche under assault. Ben Barker on the inside in the Ford Mustang. Ferrari and Ford, the top 4 places now. What a race the Ford Mustangs are both having here. Alex Lynn on the outside of the black Toyota of Nick de Vries. This is the battle for 4th place in Hypercar. De Vries trying to give himself some racing room, but Lynn with a slight advantage coming down the hill. He's got the overlap. Yep, de Vries tucks in behind, not going to fight that one. Differing fuel and tyre strategies now. We're just over 80 minutes to go. Door open for Robin Freins. Tops up the drink, tops up the fuel. In the pits as well is the 51 Ferrari. 50 stays out another lap. 4 fresh tyres to take him through to the end of the race. Full tyre change for our race leader, the number 50 Ferrari. They are throwing everything at it here in Spa. Toyota with 8 wins here in Spa-Francorchamps. The number 8 car is in front for the moment, but it needs fuel. Out comes the number 50 Ferrari. 4 fresh tyres. He's going to have to be very cautious getting them up to speed. The 36 Alpine of Mick Schumacher in 2nd place, charging after that Ferrari. Battle for 4th in LMGT3 rages on. Kelvin van der Linde with around the outside Dennis Olsen's Blue Nose Mustang and Ben Barker on the outside. 3 wide to La Source. Barker with his nose in front, runs out wide. Got to stay out of the gravel, but he can't. He was on the outside there, and there was contact with all 3 cars. Barker in the gravel, but Dennis Olsen does go through past the BMW for 4th place in class. Van der Linde down to 5th. Well, Barker with nowhere to go. He had to avoid the gravel trap. It was a brave move, but it didn't pay off. Here comes Alessandro Pierguidi back at Robin Freins. This for 4th place. The Dutch driver was very brave earlier on, but he's in the dirt now, riding wide at Piff Paff. And the Ferrari, that was very easy. Has Robin Freins got an issue?
Yeah, just losing pace because of the brakes here, guys. I'm struggling. I know, we're aware of the problem. You need to keep pumping the brakes and we need to keep doing the energy management. If it goes really long, you have to tell us and we'll have to stop.
Change for 2nd place in LMGT3. Mattia Judy's Aston Martin now ahead of the Ferrari of Davide Rigon as they race down into Eau Rouge. Is Aston Martin back in the fray here? Right behind them, Hypercar battle for 7th place. Niklas Nielsen in the 50 Ferrari being chased by the Cadillac. Sebastian Bourdais stays on track. Nielsen uses the grass. He's losing out, and Alex Lynn is coming up behind him as well. Robin Freins now outside the top 10 in the number 20 BMW. He's dropped so far down that Michael Christensen's number 5 Porsche is having a go. Freins still trying to attack. He's got plenty of grip and plenty of speed, but struggling with that brake issue. LMGT3 leader in the pits, the number 21 Ferrari. Fuel and tyres. And they will be good to go. Full course yellow, that's for debris. Now, is this going to wipe out the splash and dash requirement? We are back to green flag, so we are still looking at potentially lots of our front runners having to make one stop before the end. 36 Alpine definitely. Can 51 Ferrari go the distance? The Cadillacs might not be able to. What about the Toyotas? They could be back in the frame.
Okay, so we are clearly fighting for the victory. We optimize all the lap times, but we take margin, please. We need to finish this race. We are fighting for victory.
Crushing disappointment for the 20 BMW. The crew were on the podium last time out in Imola, but that brake problem has forced them to go back into the garage. Any hopes of a top finish are gone. 10th place for the green Aston Martin Valkyrie 007 of Harry Tincknell. Aston Martin looking for their first points in the World Endurance Championship in race 3 for the new car in the series. Race leader in the pits inside the final half hour. Mick Schumacher stops for fuel. Now, can the 51 car of Alessandro Pierguidi go all the way? It seems maybe not. Are they fuel saving, or is he going to race away and try and build enough of a margin for a fuel stop? Here's the battle for 6. Kevin Estre, a little lock up in front of Paulo Chatin's Alpine. Thank you very much, says the French driver. Chatin down the inside. He's got a newer set of tyres on and uses that to his advantage. Good move, up to 6th. Shadows are lengthening, the sun is coming down and the time is running out. Nearly the final 20 minutes as the 36 Alpine moves up to 4th place. Mick Schumacher on a charge, another full course yellow. And Schumacher just got it done and down to the 80 kilometres in time. Back to green. De Vries jumps immediately ahead of Schumacher. Great restarting. Nerves the German driver off track. Schumacher comes back on. Back up to 4th place ahead of the Toyota. Well, that was a great restart. Contact with Schumacher inside the final 20 minutes. Splash and dash from 5th place for number 7 Toyota of Nick De Vries. Lots more will need fuel. In the pits, Alex Lynn in the 12th caddy from 4th place. Here's the final stop for our race leader, the 51 Ferrari. Just inside 12 minutes to go. Can he come back out on track? He should just be in front of the sister 50 car. Alessio Rivera leading in LMGT3. The final couple of laps here at Spa-Francorchamps. The 21 Ferrari has a big advantage over the better of the Fords. That's the car of Dennis Olsen, but Ford versus Ferrari, the battle from the 60s continues. Final stop for the 35 Alpine of Paulo Chatin, and that moves Mick Schumacher up to 3rd. He's chasing the 50 Ferrari, here they are. Schumacher has closed right up on the back of Niklas Nielsen, but his older tyres are now starting to give up. Nielsen is maintaining that gap. He's got little fuel, Schumacher's got little grip. Just 5.5 seconds in front of them, Alessandro Pierguidi, but the 51 Ferrari is heading to the checkered flag. They won Le Mans in 2023, they won Imola just under a month ago. Their 3rd victory comes here in the TotalEnergies 6 Hours of Spa-Francorchamps. They take the checkered flag, waved by 10-time world motocross champion Stefan Everts, a Belgian national hero, and Niklas Nielsen clings to 2nd place by the skin of his teeth ahead of Mick Schumacher. It is a 1-2 for Ferrari in Belgium.
Thank you, guys. I can't believe, actually. If you think how we start the weekend, I cannot believe. Thank you so much, guys.
A roller coaster of emotion for the Ferrari team. Lots of red in the grandstands. Those Ferrari fans will be very happy. But this was no walkover. They really had to fight for it.
To be honest, I still can't believe it. You think how we start the weekend was very difficult. And at the end, when I have to push like a quali lap every single laps, I have to push every quali. I give everything. Actually, I'm finished, even myself. The team, my teammates did an amazing job. The guys worked so hard. We had a few crashes in the weekend, and I have to repair the car quick. And they did an amazing job. So to 2nd victory in a row, 1-2 for Ferrari. We can be better prepared for Le Mans.
Ferrari also claimed victory in LMGT3. The number 21 car, François Simon Mann and Alessio Rivera, dominant in the closing stages. After getting knocked off at home in Imola, they claim victory in Spa. A truly breathtaking 6 hours here in Spa, where nothing was a guarantee. Ferrari out-wrestled their rivals and came out with a 1-2 result. but it could have been so different for Peugeot, for Alpine, and for so many others. The 51 team extend their championship advantage in the drivers' table, and Ferrari extend their advantage in the manufacturers' standings as well. 3 races in, Ferrari lead Toyota with BMW still in 3rd place. And the number 50 crew move up to 2nd in the drivers' table behind their 51 teammates. Lots and lots of racing still to do in the World Endurance Championship, and nothing is taken for granted. So confirmation of the result, Ferrari and Alpine on the podium, Toyota finishing 4th and 7th after a disappointing qualify, and Ford versus Ferrari, the story of the top 4 in an equally hectic LMGT3 race. Quite a high level of attrition and an unusual half-dozen cars not making it through to the finish. And that is it for Spa 2025. And now we turn our eyes to the big one, to the legend that is the 24 du Mans. For the last 2 years, Ferrari have won in Hypercar. Can they make it 3 in a row? You can bet their rivals will do everything in their power to stop them.